The back three of Mjällby, Boyd and Reset, and a starting place for Reggie Blinker, the Dutchman's first start since the 1-1 draw with Killie at Celtic Park in September. Match commentator Archie McPherson.
At long last, after 2 weeks of conjecture and controversy surrounding the game over matters quite extraneous to football, the match gets underway on a very heavy pitch, but at a ground recently very favourable to Celtic, unbeaten at the last 4 visits here. Indeed, history is on their side. They've only lost 8 times in 39 games at Fir Park. Larson played back to Mracic. It's a beautiful ball inside there. Plenty of space there for Mahe. That's what he's there for, getting up and down that left-hand side, and there's a gentle push, as you might say. Free kick to Motherwell. There he goes in there, no question about that. Well, the pitch may be heavy and may cut up as Bradback goes through here, but he is in their space. And he really ought to have played it to the side much more quickly than that. Larson was in a very good position indeed. Tended to be just a little bit selfish that time, Bradback. Well, they're opening up the play very well, Celtic. Followed on there, Mracic slips it inside, and Lambert simply didn't follow up his run strongly enough. There's the initial burst by Bradback. Now, he had Larson inside him even as he turned, and he was too slow. Celtic opening it out again. Blinker. Larson's in a very good position in the middle. Mracic free, just inside, and Larson, can he turn and hook it in? Just too much angle on that, but it does show you how dangerous this man is. Had the defence right in front of him. Look at him making the diagonal run, and here trying to achieve the impossible. Very good effort. Solid defensive header there by Reset. And Tommy Boyd. There was a degree of hesitancy there. They couldn't make up their minds about that, and McGowan, I think, was the major culprit. He really should have gone much more convincingly for it. Had to whip that away. Alcor. Owen Coyle's very good at this, dragging the defenders. He does it. Timor Bay, that's a decent ball. Boyd, right in there quickly, still out. Coyle. Well, he turned once too many there. Looked as if in his initial turn he would pass the defender. Turning out to be the kind of game, and even in these early stages, we expected, and once again, Coyle, just a foot off. Well, that Celtic defence quite happy to punt that away anywhere eventually, as Motherwell surge back into the game. Just 10 minutes gone, no scoring, and it's almost like a cup tie. There's a great chance now, and what a save by Gould. He got his legs to that, even as his body was going down. Quite extraordinary way he was able to save it. An instinctive save, and look, he goes down and the legs just get that contact. But Willie McCullough ought to have put that away. The best chance of the match so far. Well, certainly Motherwell looking a well-organised side at this stage after 1 or 2 initial frights. And breaks like this, intelligently spreading the play again. Anyway, that's a decent ball inside. There are 3 Motherwell players in the box. And it goes and just touched away by Mjällby, the finishing ball into the penalty area. is very weak at the moment, Motherwell, after very good build-up. And John Spencer again involved there, and Spencer is off in the most dramatic fashion. The referee, Kenny Clark, had absolutely no hesitation as the players are beginning to mill around there. Off Spencer goes, the ex-Rangers player who is so absolutely crucial to the Motherwell cause, goes off. Now we saw the hip throw there, but there was retaliation, and there he goes off with Billy Davis. You must be annoyed, you know, you've got to keep your cool in a situation like this. Here's the tangle there, and there's the blow to the back of the head. Jackie McNamara just restraining himself. As I said, it calls for the greatest self-restraint, although on the other hand, when players get into a tangle like that, sometimes it can happen naturally. But that man there, logically, absolutely correct. Well, there's a man who remains icily cool despite all the shouting and barracking he's now getting. He realizes he has the authority. Well, I did say this was more like a cup tie, more like a cup final in many ways, the intensity of it now. I just hope it doesn't boil over. Ball just kept into play. Larson, a little bit too delicate the way he tried to square that ball. Duisberg tried to run through there on his own. It's going to be very difficult for Motherwell to compete with 10 men against a Celtic team playing some superb football. Haven't yet turned it on, Celtic, in this game, but it's potentially there. Jonathan Gould! What on earth was he playing out there? Seemed to, one, lose his footing, two, the ball seemed to wobble in front of him. Certainly gave that impression. He just got to it. Well, he sees the funny side of it. He has to. Lambert, that's a good run forward by Mahe. And a penalty. Kenny Clark points to the spot. Certainly an excellent run by Mahe. He had to make up about 20 yards to get in there. Now that's very dubious indeed. I must say the Motherwell player made painful efforts not to touch him. Now, did he get a touch right at the end? That's what the referee thinks. So this game has been borne along in controversy. Larson puts Celtic one up after 21 minutes. He did it simply enough. And the man has the ability to cut himself off entirely from all the passions around him and slot it away as coolly as that. Indecision for the first time by Cragen. Ball has to be played away smartly. Here's Coyle. Lovely little swerve there by Balakari, and then he is again trying to come in, and free kick against Tom Boy going in there, although the former Motherwell captain not at all happy with that as he came forward. There's Boyd going into the back, and then the ball slid back by Lambert. Motherwell really need to pick up something from situations like this. With 20 minutes of the first half to go, it's a beautiful goal! Well, the man has become expert at putting it away like that. Brannan. He looked up and scores his 4th goal of the season with the most delicious free kick. And how Motherwell deserve to get back on equal terms. And Jonathan Gould, who's already had a superlative save, cannot elongate his arms to prevent that going in as it did. And Motherwell, they're 10 men fighting back. Plenty time for Boyd, and he makes an awful hash of it. On Coyle, away he goes. Reset. The man who can play virtually in any position. Outfield position in the centre of defence, of course, tonight. Now, this could be dangerous. Larson likes to float in there. And I think a free kick, and it looked to me for a moment as if he were going to produce a card. Well, he seemed to leap away. I must say, there was a tackle going in. It just, I think, clipped him at the end. So, free kick. Rather edgy-looking Motherwell defence there. You've really got to form that role and give Stevie Wood a chance as well. And that's gone in! Moravchik off the post, so you cannot get a more finely judged free kick than that when you've got the edge of the post to aim for. And he did it, and Celtic are back in the lead. This is a man who, when he arrived at Parkhead, was dismissed as a 30-something mid-European, almost fit for the scrap heap. Well, I think Celtic have found a golden nugget in there, as witness the way he can take these danger wherever a free kick was awarded in and around that area. Oh, Billy Davis, one of the young managers in the game with a great deal of promise. Celtic a little bit negligent at times as Pat Nevin is chased by Mahe. Tries to turn it inside. Nevin, free kick, although I think Pat did a little bit of Beecher brooking there, a little neat jump through the middle. Oh, the boot went up as well. And what does he get? A free kick. So, a free kick. Well, Owen Coyle has joined Brannan. Either Brannan or Coyle. Exactly 10 minutes to go, and he tried to curl it round. The goalkeeper might just have been obscured, his view there, as you can see there with the wall, but a little too much elevation. But he's certainly an expert with a free kick. McNamara tries to go inside. Larson turning and put it away. You know. Wow, he really did set himself up there with a touches of wizardry again. And he couldn't quite finish it off. Suddenly, he became very timid about it. Took it with the outside of the foot, by which, of course, you cannot get full leverage. Isn't that marvellous to see him do something like that and then finishing so ineptly? Lambert. Try that long one, and too long as the half-time whistle goes at the end of a quite remarkable first 45 minutes. The sending off of John Spencer, the penalty awarded to Celtic, Larson converting it, and then two wonderful free kicks. The first from Brannan to make it 1-1 at that stage, and then Moravchik, as he so patently, obviously does when he's in a dangerous position, making it eventually at half-time, Motherwell 1, Celtic 2. Well, we had a flurry of snow at the interval, but not sufficient to do any damage that hasn't already been done to this pitch. I think you could say that the first half is going to be a very difficult act to follow indeed. Celtic may be leading by 2 goals to 1, but it's been far from the best performance of the season. Remember, they're down to 10 men who give me the impression they're playing with much more exuberance and commitment at Celtic at this stage, which is really rather surprising given the stakes that are so high for Celtic. But that is free kick. It may well be they feel that playing against 10 men, they'll take Motherwell on the break, letting them come forward. Brannan hoisting it to the far post, and Gould, no difficulty. And Blinker, acres of space out there. Hasn't contributed all that much to this game, though. He has to get a little bit more involved. Lambert, man who certainly does. Stabbed away there again. Duisburg following on. Pat Nevin, who came on as a sub, of course. That won't do. That kind of ball played across there by Teal. Well, beautifully stroked in there to Blinker. He has brought back with a chance, and it's 2 straight. I did say Celtic wanted simply to perhaps sit back just a little bit and hit Motherwell on the counter-attack. That they almost did there. Some of the Motherwell supporters around me want the ball pushed on, but they want to get the ball to feet and keep possession. Oh, no free kick. Now this could be dangerous. Ravchik, is he wanting to go himself? Oh, that's played rather ineptly again by Bradback, incensing the Celtic supporters around. Somehow there's that lack of coordination between brain and feet. And look at that, that's very inept. Reset wanting to make a burst, I think. Got away by Blinker again. Free kick. And just when it seemed to me that Celtic were beginning to gain ascendancy, Motherwell have got back into this game again with good passing and determination. That lies at the base of their performance tonight, as Gould takes that ball well and courageously. He did have to go for it. Always a very difficult judgment for a goalkeeper, this, to take on a ball when his defender's coming in at the same time. Technically very sound goalkeeper, this. Ravchik. Now Boyd. Wants to go way down that right-hand side. McNamara pulling at a jersey. Free kick quickly taken. Brannan charging away forward. He did very well to get out of that. Referee says no free kick as the play goes on. He shakes his head at the complaints of the Motherwell players. And away goes Bradback. He must let fly at this. Well, there's a look of determination about him there. To be fair to the lad, I think it was a little bit of a bauble. Although, judging by the mood of the Celtic supporters around me, I don't think they would like me to be fair to him, because they're not too happy with his performance so far. Brannan, that's a better ball, Nevin. Now, is he going to go right to the heart of the defence himself? Looks for support again. He's running out of options, and he should have played that. He had either McCulloch on the left, we're going out there to the right-hand side, Brannan. Wow. Larson could finish it. He loves a situation like this, and he has. 3 defenders round him. And with those magical feet of his, he rendered them invisible, and I'm quite sure has now put the game beyond Motherwell. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, indeed 4, and he slips it away straight past Wood. This is the indication of a class striker And that is his 29th of the season. They've come in all different shapes and sizes and different angles, and that is as vital as any he's scored. McNamara. Check, better ball in there, that must be surely only Harold Bradback could do something as spectacularly as that. He misses them here, he misses them there. Oh dear. Maybe there should be a prevention of cruelty to Harold. Swept out of play. I think it's down there. Here's the challenge. Now, I think he was holding the back of his leg. Up goes the Slovakian Lubomir Moravcik, who has already added a depth and artistic touch to the game, not just the way he's played the ball about, but the way he's scored that free kick. And here is the return of Craig Burley, a notable event for Celtic. Arsenal turning on the outside there by the Frenchman, Mahé. It's not quite his game. Conscious, obviously, of the bursts that Pat Nevin could make on that right-hand side. Larson. Lovely little ball put through, yes, delightful goal as Craig Burley comes back to the green and white jersey in the most marvellous way. But a touch of genius by the little Swede. Watch this. You should get a gold medal for accuracy. How about that? Well, he could not believe that the ball had come through to him so well. Exquisite. And rammed in. Great certainty. And that's a way to come back. And how Celtic may become rampant. Blinker. Bradback, beautiful header, this time denied by Woods. To be fair to him, he timed this to perfection, as you can see here. But Woods had his eye on it all the way. Watch the goalkeeper, body behind it. There's Boyd. That should go all the way through to the goalkeeper. Teal. And that gives an indication of the way the Motherwell nerve has quite gone with the omnipresence of Henrik Larsson, because he was lurking in the background. And I know he gives that away. Dosh McKinley with him, and Larsson once again with that ominous run of his, beautifully carved inside, and still Bradback can't put it away. I think a player who misses chances like this, and the ones we have already seen, develops a kind of complex. Seems to have that psychological barrier looming up in front of him, even though it's set up on a plate for you like that. So Mark Bushell now on for Celtic. Usually brought on as a sub, he's got pace, and Burley cannot get through. He does eventually. Just for a moment I thought he had lost possession, and quite right eventually to have a go from just about here. What a run by Larson again, beautifully, nutmegging, and that's it. Boccio followed up, tucks it away, and for the second time in the game, Henrik Larsson almost humiliating his opponents with these neat little nutmegs. Touches it away there, and they score their fifth goal with the youngster coming in, getting his opportunity late in the game and late in this move. Blinker, I think, was going to miss that and then just tucked away. There's a run by Larson again. There's that piece of impudence in his part, almost. And Boccio pushes it away. 5 minutes remaining. Space there for Josh McKinley. That's a decent ball there, and it just in. It's done so remarkably easy as Celtic score their 6th goal. Larsson, his 3rd hat-trick in a couple of weeks. This remarkable little man just tucking it away. The goalkeeper for a moment gave the impression the ball was going past. I think he lulled everybody into a sense of false security. Right on the toe, and one touch, tucked away. Larsson quickly put down, then I think it may have gone over. No, just touched away again. Go to Celtic, in fact. Here's Burley. Touched away again, that's it! 4th goal for Henrik Larsson. 7th heaven for the Celtic supporters. And an incredible tally by this man. "31 goals he's now scored from all angles, as I said. Celtic pushing forward as many players as they could, and look at the way that poor Stephen Woods was woefully exposed. You do that against Larsson, you take it on the chin. Larsson eased that forward elegantly again. Just captain play, and Stephen Woods must be beginning to wonder what hit him in the second half after Motherwell had played so well defensively. And there goes the final whistle for a remarkable game, and the astonishing agony for Celtic, of course, is that playing so brilliantly, at least they did eventually in this game, and yet remain that gap between themselves and Rangers. A goal scored by Larsson from the penalty spot after Spencer had been sent off. Then Branner getting that equaliser. Moravcik following on after that. Then an amazing second half with Larsson scoring 3 goals in it, Burley 1 and Boccio the other. An entertaining game throughout. The final score, of course, which I think may strike a chord with the Celtic supporters. Motherwell 1, Celtic 7.
When you go to 10 men, it becomes very, very difficult. I thought for the first hour or so, the players worked very hard. Yeah, after you lose the 3rd goal, then you start to lose your discipline. And you know, Celtic are a good side with 11 men to try and play against them. And when you go down to 10, they make it very difficult.
Delighted to be back, yeah, but obviously very happy for the team and the performance we put in. Motherwell down to 10 men, it made it a wee bit easier for us, and they got tired in the end. But We just still got to do the job, and we did that tonight with 7 goals.
We got the result that we wanted today, and yeah, we played good football today, and I'm very pleased that we can go on and win here, because normally we always have it very difficult up here.
Players have been working hard. They played well, and especially second half, I think excellent. They work for each other. They use very nice and creative moves and score nice goals. It was not easy game from the beginning, but later on we have been able to put our pattern to the opposition. We dictate tempo of the game, and with our skillful players, I think we brought nice and happy feelings to our supporters.
Good news and bad news. Lubomir Moravchik taken off, but Craig Burley coming back and scoring.
Yeah, no, as you said, that's bad news, but on the other hand, there's good news as well, because they're two similar types of players, and I just hope that Lubo is not staying away too long, because he's been very important for us.
Yeah, and there's how the Premier Division table in the last